Let's recycle a grocery paper bag and make a fun junk journal cover out of it. Welcome, it's Barbara from Vienna, Austria. A few weeks ago, I showed you the unboxing and a flip through of this amazing journal from Nadia from Art Allerlei. And I bought this journal not just because it's absolutely gorgeous, but because I wanted it as inspiration, because I am so in love with her style. And I wanted to use some of the things she does in her journal in my journal without copying her. Not an easy thing to do, actually. So I went ahead and I made 3 signatures, trying to combine her style and my style. And I wanted to put them into a journal cover, obviously. I had made them to fit this journal cover, which I made off camera using one of the Amazon boxes. If you want to know how I made this type of cover, I will link a video for you below with another Amazon cover tutorial, which looks different than this, but basically I did the same thing with the box. And I have another video where you can see how I made these here, which I did with my fairy journal, although I used a regular book for that. It's the same thing I did here for my fairy journal, which is an altered book, but it's the same principle that I used on this one. So I will link this as well. But what I realized when I was trying to put the signatures in here was that I did not like the hardcover for these kind of signatures. I can't explain why. It was just a feeling, it just didn't feel right. That's all I can say. So instead, I wanted to make kind of like a squishy cover, because also Nadia's cover is squishy and I really like that. I don't know how she made hers. Obviously hers has a lot of fabric, but I don't know what is in between. Maybe it's packaging, who knows. So I wanted to try to make one that will fit the signatures. And if you missed the unboxing and flip through of this amazing journal, I will have that linked for you below as well. It's definitely worth watching. It's a short one. So we're going to take a regular grocery bag and very easily turn it into a fun junk journal cover. Now, for some reason, the beginning of my original video was deleted or never recorded. I don't know, it's gone. So I want to show you what I did before we jump back into the original footage. So I had a paper bag similar to this, but a little bit bigger. And all I did was I cut off the handles. If your grocery bag just has them attached without a paper on top like this, you could probably just tear them off. But with a paper on it like that, I'm afraid that it would tear the whole bag. And then I'm going to open this bottom part of the bag. Like this. By the way, that's like a YouTuber's worst nightmare, is that you filmed this whole video and it took you hours to film, and then some of it is missing that you cannot reproduce because you don't have that thing anymore that you used. So I even considered going back to the same grocery shop to have exactly the same bag so that you would never notice that I had to refilm that, but I decided to go this route. So now that we have the bag like this, since I wanted to keep a big pocket on one side, I'm just going to cut off this bottom part where the first crease is. So we won't be needing this. So now we have this part, and this becomes my cover by just folding it like this. In the next stage, I decided I'm going to, instead of gluing it, I'm going to sew around it with my sewing machine. You could, of course, leave the pockets on both sides, but I only wanted the pocket on the back. So I wanted to close one side. So the idea was to sew around it once, but leaving this open here. So basically just going around the 3 sides. So now I'll take you back to the original video. I actually sewed it a bit differently because I realized if I would just sew along here all the way to the edges, then this pocket wouldn't be a huge pocket anymore because it couldn't open all the way. So instead I sewed this and this individually, and same thing on the bottom. So now the pocket still opens. So I think that's a lot more fun. And I think I'm gonna have the pocket in the back, so the journal is going to be like this. And this feels so good, so lovely and scrunchy. So now I need to figure out how to cover this cover, or with what to cover this cover to match my inside, because usually I make the cover first, and then depending on the cover I will match my signatures, but this time it's the other way around and I'm not used to that. So I need to figure out what to actually put on here. One thought I just had spontaneously is, you know, we have these handles that we cut off, and I thought, wouldn't it be fun to put these here and here, and that way we can use those to kind of like carry the journal and then they would open like that. So maybe I will do that. That seems kind of like a fun idea. So I guess I'm going to paint this. I thought about just covering it with paper, but that kind of seemed boring. So I think I need to paint it first, and I think I will start with a layer of gesso, and I'll do that both on the inside and the outside. And I don't know yet what else I'm gonna be putting over the paint. Like, will I be using some dyes, or will I just add some ephemera? I really have no idea yet. So far, the inside of the journal has some turquoise, some like green blue colors, and some like honey yellow and gold. I don't have really like a theme, except there's a few butterflies in there. So I could definitely maybe do something with butterflies on the cover. Anything nature themed would work. And I don't want to paint all the way out to the edges, because not only do I want my sewing seen, but I also want it to be seen that this is a paperback. Like, why should we hide that? Why? Okay, once that dries, I will do the same thing with the other side. It's now a couple of hours later. Both of these sides have gesso on them and it's dry. I was briefly thinking about whether I should make a mermaid journal, mermaid themed, because that would definitely go with what I have here, like the colors. But it kind of seemed like too big of a theme. Like, if I have a mermaid, then I gotta do this whole underwater theme, and that was just too much. I don't want to decorate this journal up a lot. So I'm thinking, since I have some butterflies inside, I'm just gonna stick with a simple butterfly theme. Good job. And I'm just gonna try this metallic, what is it? Metallic green. Not sure I'm gonna like this. Yeah, so I thought maybe I can just have some dyes with butterflies and somehow put them on the cover. I don't know yet. Now I want some of the white showing around the edge. I want the gesso showing through. Not showing through, showing on the sides. Again, I'm gonna let this dry and do the same thing on the other side. And I'm also going to put some of this metallic green on just a random piece of cardstock that I'm not too keen on, because I think I'm gonna use this to punch my butterflies out of with the dyes. So I want everything to be like the same color. Both sides are dry, and it really kind of looks like it could be a mermaid journal, doesn't it? But no, I'm not gonna do that. And then I cut these dies of butterflies. So I painted my cardstock with 2 layers of the same paint, and I have this amazing die. I got this second hand. It is unfortunately no longer available. There is a fairly simple one that I think I have the link for, so I will try to link that one down below for you. So this is one of these thick dies that you can also use like on fabric and stuff, which is really cool. And it also comes actually with an embossing folder, but I don't know if I want to use the embossing. Actually, why not? I think I'm going to use the embossing folder as well. Let me just show you what that looks like. So this is the embossing folder that goes with it. One of you very smart viewers had the tip that if you have some kind of a butterfly die and you don't have an embossing folder to go with it, you can actually use any embossing folder that has any sort of pattern on it and put your butterflies through and they will look fabulous. And I think that is such a cool idea. I did not think of that, but I'm sure that's gonna look absolutely beautiful. So I'm gonna run these through my die cut machine again, and I'll see you back here once I've done all of that. So this is what they look like embossed. So of course that's a whole different story now. I think they look super cool like this. But this looks too one-dimensional again. And I think I'm gonna dry brush this with some buff titanium. I know this will of course get rid of some of the metallic, but we'll just try it. So I'll start off with the butterflies. Once I put them in wrong, actually. So these were, I don't know if you can see. So here, the middle is indented inward. So basically this should have been the front. But I never know which way to put it in. So it's supposed to look like this and it looks like this. Do you see the difference? It doesn't really matter. Would be really cool. Oh, you know what? I'm totally gonna try this because I just saw the gold here. I recently went to my local craft store and bought this Van Gogh watercolor in deep gold, color 803, in case anybody's interested. And why don't I try dry brushing it with the gold? That might look really amazing. It might also look really horrible. We'll just see what happens. But I kind of, because I'm thinking it's metallic, right? The gold is definitely metallic. So I'm thinking that might be a really cool effect. Instead of getting rid of the metallic by going over it with the buff titanium. So again, I'm just trying to not have a lot on my brush. Oh my goodness, I am so excited to try this. Okay, so this gives it a gold shimmer. It's not really the dry brushing effect I was hoping for, but it gives it a beautiful gold shimmer. Oh, actually, I like this. Don't know, can you see this? Yeah, I think you can. So that is cool too. Let's just do that. Totally not what I had in mind. Okay, here I definitely had more on my brush, a little more than I wanted to. Maybe at the end I will add some gold splattering as well on the whole cover. I'm totally addicted to gold at the moment. Okay, we'll let these dry. And we'll do the cover. So I'm wondering, since I can't really do the dry brushing, whether it might be better to add some water. I don't know. No, actually, I like this. So if anyone would like to make a mermaid journal, maybe this is the way to go. This looks very mermaidy to me. This is the inside, I'm just realizing, because the pocket is here, which I wanted on the back side of the journal. Okay, this is the inside, that's fine. We'll do the same thing for the outside. The outside is done as well. I can't believe how shimmery this is. This is such a weird contrast. Like we have the neutral of the paper bag and then we have this shiny thing and it totally feels like leather. It's really interesting. So let's see what we can do with the cover. Just gonna hold this closed so that I know what surface area we have to work in. And now if we take our butterflies, I don't know exactly yet how I'm gonna do this, but I was thinking like what if we can make them look like they're flying in I don't know. So kind of like staggering them a little bit. You know, something like this. I don't know. But I wish I had something else. And I went through my paper pads and I found this one here. I've had this forever. I don't know if you can still find this. It's, I don't know, is that the brand First Edition paper? I don't know if you can still find this. Oh wait, it says something on the back. So maybe this is helpful. And there's a number here in case you need it. Yeah, so it has beautiful papers. As I said, I've had this forever. I think they also have this in 6x6 instead of 12x12. And it has this one sheet, which is also shiny. And you see here it has butterflies. I was wondering if some of these butterflies, if we might add them in between. The problem is that there's not many here that are like fully on top. They're all like, you know, over and under each other. So there's not many that are solely on top. This one is, and this one is, and I think that's pretty much it. Or maybe this one here, or this one. So I'm thinking, what if I cut them out and then see if I can mix those in just to get a bit more of a variety? What do you think? Does that sound like a good idea? Maybe one that is kind of like cut off could even be like here, coming in on the side like that. So which one could that be? Well, either this one from the bottom or this one here, maybe cut off a little bit. Not sure about that. Okay, I'll cut some of the others out, the ones that I can, and then let's see if we can make that work. So I have these 3 cut out. Let's see if they could work. Thinking the biggest one should probably go furthest on the bottom. Nope, I'm not liking it. Okay, it's too bad I cut up that beautiful paper now. I think I'll just stick with these then and then add some more gold splattering on them. So I guess I'm just gonna start from the bottom and start gluing these. I'll just glue them more or less in the middle. I think I have my glue gun, my new glue gun, ready to go. So let's just try this. It's not dripping, I love it. And I'm alternating between the 2 styles of butterflies. I think this is so fun. It's so unexpected. I had no plans to do this. I did not know it was going to be a butterfly journal, and I did not know that this is how the cover is going to look. I think it's so fun. Oh, it makes me happy. All right, let's try some gold splatters. I just found something else. I found these butterflies, which are also shiny. And I thought maybe some of these, because they're a lot smaller, maybe some of these would be cute. Like in between. So I'm gonna be cutting out some of these, and these are from this paper pad called Bohemian. I got that at a craft fair. It's from Dove Craft, and it has glitter sheets and gloss effect and pearlescent designs. Here it shows you what the designs are. Let's give you a quick flip through. Maybe not sideways. This one is very shiny, so beautiful. These are also beautiful. Love this paper pad. There's more butterflies. This is also nice. Beautiful. This has some glitter. I wish the butterflies had glitter. Maybe I used them for something, but I don't remember. So gorgeous. These also. Yeah. So these are really, really gorgeous. Ooh, there's some here that have glitter. Well, let me see. Maybe I don't need them. All right, so let me cut a few of these out and then we'll play with them. Here they are. So let's see if we can make these work. What do you think? Is it too colorful? Looks more whimsical now for sure. But it's cute, isn't it? I like it. I'm just gonna ink up the edges because I see the white shining through on the edges there and I don't like that. So I'll just get rid of those and then we can glue them down. Can I do this without burning my fingers? That is not a good question. Yes, if Tina can do it, I can do it. Famous last words. What do you think? I think it's fun. All right, let's get the gold splatters done. Taking the same gold watercolor. This time I'm gonna make it watery and I'm taking my fan brush, which is great for splatters. And since I have some gold paint left here, I'm just gonna dip some cardstock into it. Don't want to waste that. Just to get some gold speckling there. And I also put some here on this piece of the paper bag that I cut out. I first put some of the extra gesso that I had left over and now some gold paint. Who knows what we'll do with this? We'll find something. One other thing that I recently got are these glitter 3D drops. I've never had anything like this. So they come in two different types of gold. This one looks more yellow. I don't know, do we need this? I mean, this is quite shiny already. I don't know what these will look like, to be honest. Let's try one out on this card before I do anything on the cover. Okay, so they are very dimensional. If they stay as dimensional as this, we'll see. We'll see what they look like when they're dry. So everything is dry and the splatters are nice. They're fairly subtle. So now we need to sew in the signatures, which of course is the least fun part. So I'm gonna go ahead and find my middle. Don't really want to bend it because I don't want a crease here. Yeah, so I know it is there. I already prepared my template. I'm gonna do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch and I have 3 signatures. If you need more detailed instructions on how to do a 5-hole pamphlet stitch, please check out the video linked in the description box. Don't want to bore you trying to do that here now. Just see if this is straight. Yeah. So I'm just going to poke my holes through. And then I'll do the same thing for the signatures and then we'll just sew them in. This is quite different from my usual vintage muted colors, isn't it? I'm really surprising myself how much I'm loving this. I have all my signatures punched through and now I need to find a twine that will fit with this color scheme. So I have here my embroidery threads, and I'm sure we can find something. This one would be perfect, actually. Yep, I think I'll just go with that. That one is just perfect. Gold would have been nice, but I don't have a nice gold. Nah. Take my biggest needle. And I'm going to take, how much do I take? I think I'll take three lengths of the journal. Now this is where the problem starts. I know, I shouldn't have taken it out of these. Oh boy. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Maybe a little extra. All right, I'll just cut 3 of these. The rest then will be untangled and will go in my second box where I have these that I've cut out by hand. I'll just wrap it around and then store it in here. So this is the spine. This is so fun. I still really like the idea with the handles for the journal. I don't know, I just think it's cute. I've never seen that before, but I think it's really cute. And I could either just leave them as they are, but I kind of want them to look like the journal. So I think I'm going to go to the trouble to paint them the same way I painted the cover. So I'll first put a layer of gesso, then the metallic, and then the gold. It's gonna be a lot of drying time again. And then I thought it also needed a closure because without having added anything else, it's already kind of opening it up a bit. So it will probably open up more. And I thought what I would try is I'll take another piece of another handle and I want to cut this. Now I've never tried this before, so we'll see if this works at all. So I'll just cut it so that I have this straight piece. And I thought I could just kind of make a closure to go around like this and to sew it, or maybe with my glue gun, glue it on the back. And the front I thought could be attached either with magnets or with Velcro. So I have Velcro dots here, so that would be very easy to just, you know, put one here and the other piece on there, and then that would work really easily. Or what I might want to try instead is these magnets. I will try to link these below for you. I believe I got these from Amazon. I will do my best to link these because they're really cool. They are super tiny and they're really strong. And I tried it. So, oh, these are 3 actually. See, they're so tiny that I can't even tell how many I have in my hand. So if I put one here, whoops, obviously that's not gonna hold on its own. So I put one here and I'll hold it here and I'll show you how strong. This is through 2 layers of paper bag and it goes straight there, and they will stay like this. So I thought maybe I could just put the one on the back of this strip and then put the other one there, and that way it would be a cool magnetic closure. I do like that idea a lot. And then I also want to paint this in the same way. So if you know in advance that you're going to do this, it of course makes sense to paint all of these pieces at the same time that you're painting your cover, but I did not think that far ahead, so now I have to do it separately. I'm switching my brush for the last gold layer so that I'm sure that it's dry. While that dries, maybe we can add some of the turquoise metallic onto the butterfly. I'm just gonna do this with my finger because I just washed my brush, not thinking. Oh yeah, it's so pretty. Much better like this. I'll do the same thing on the back signature, but this needs to dry first. Everything is dry now on both sides, and I'm definitely keeping this because this might be nice for collages or for something else. We'll see. So now what I want to do is I think I'm going to sew around this part here. So that was the closure, and then we'll try to attach this. So I just stitched around it once with a straight stitch, and I'm just going to straighten these edges. So, and then for the back, we'll just first glue it on like this. Just want to make sure it is big enough, so, well, that might be a bit big. So maybe I'll move it even inward a little bit. I do want it to have some give here because I want the journal to be able to grow. So maybe like this would be good. And now I'm going to take my glue gun and attach this. You could also sew it, but this is easier. Okay, like this. And now for the front, we need to do the magnet. So one needs to go here. I think I will also just hot glue that. Just a tiny bit. Like that. And you could cover that up if you don't want to see the magnet. I think I'm just gonna leave it. And now of course we need the other one. Should have maybe done this the other way around. No, I'm not sure it's gonna stick. I hope this is gonna be strong enough. If not, I'll have to take it off and do the Velcro. But I really think the magnet is fun. So now the question is, how do I know where to put it? It's really better to do it the other way around. To first put this one on and then see where to put this one. Oh well. Fingers crossed this is gonna work. No, I don't know why. It was working before. No, it's not working. Okay, so plan B, we'll take this off and put it on the front and then maybe cover it up with something. Okay, and I'll have to see if I can get off the glue, the hot glue. Okay, so if we do it like this, it will definitely work. So this is where I need the glue. Okay, this is not strong enough. I don't know why they don't like each other anymore. Looks like they're opposing magnets. Is that possible? Okay, it's not working. So I'm gonna attempt to get these off again without ruining my cover. This glue is really good, and now I'm taking, oh no. I'm taking the paint off. I have a hole now. Oh. Sigh. I think I'll just leave the glue here. You can hardly see it. I'll just file it down so that you can't feel it, but I don't want to take the paint off there. All right, let's try the Velcro dots. They are a bit big for my handle here. So I'm gonna see if I can cut them down into squares. Much better. So, well, even though they are very sticky, we'll still add some glue. And let's do the same for the other piece. Okay, let's close it. Yeah, this works better, of course. It's not as sexy, but oh well. It works. Okay, let's do the handles. So I don't want them sticking out as much as they were on the original bag. Make them something like this. So I think we'll have to cut off. Yeah, I'll cut off just a bit of the ends. And I'll do them the same on the other handle. And then I'm just gonna glue them on. For the back side, I'll put them on the inside of the pocket, because otherwise it's in the way of getting into the pocket. And also this would probably hang loose then, so it needs to be on the pocket. I'll try to position them at the same height as the front one. It would be great to have a third hand right now. Sorry you can't see this well, but I'm struggling. All right, so that's attached as well. And now we can just close this and we can carry it. I think that's fun. Oh my gosh, this is so fun. Why did I never do this before? I think I need to do this again. This is so much fun. It is the next day and I had already finished editing and uploading the video, but I couldn't let go that I didn't like this Velcro closure that I had. So I kept messing with it for a long time. I thought I had completely destroyed the cover because when I tore off the Velcro, the paper bag actually, part of it ripped. So I was able to patch that up again. And I tried something else. I tried it like with, I have like these plastic snap buttons, and so I had to punch a hole through here and through the little thing that I had to close it, and then that didn't work and I had to take it off and I had huge holes. I had to patch those up, of course always repainting everything. It was a mess. It took really forever, but finally I have a closure that I'm happy with, so it was worth the effort. And I will show you a complete flip through. I have cut out another flip through that I had in another part of the video, but I've added a few things. So this is the final version of the journal now. So I thought I would share that with you. So to show you the closure, on the back here, I have just a hole with an eyelet. And I have an elastic band here that goes around the front here, which is a cogwheel that actually turns, and it has another tiny cogwheel underneath. You can't actually see it because I wanted something so that it's a little bit higher up so that the elastic would go under easily. And then you can see here it has this brad fastening it. And on the back, I made this here to cover up the brad. And on the back side, I have this elastic through, so I just knotted it. And I took my glue gun, glued it right to the edge of the eyelet inside, and then I covered it with this beautiful paper. And another thing that was important was that I didn't want to leave the bag like this, because that would of course get damaged with the elastic, because that is constantly pulling on it. So I just cut an indent here, and this is sturdy here, so that will be fine. Super happy with this closure. I did put a little bit of gold paint on this. Super happy with this now. I'm so happy I took the time to fix it until I was happy with it, but it was quite an adventure. So let me just give you a quick flip through. So hopefully you will recognize a marriage between Nadia's style and my style. Love this here. This is very like goldy and metallic. I'm just loving the metallic. Love this here. I just put some patterned paper through the embossing folder of my butterflies without ever cutting them out, and I just love it. This of course is very Nadia style, this style of stenciling. And I always made sure to add a lot of the metallic here so that it goes with the journal, with the cover. These were Nadia's idea. I've seen these on Susanne's flip through of her journal. So these are very cute. Also added some metallic. Just a tip, if you do this, first I just had the hole through it because it goes right through the middle hole of the pamphlet stitch. But I realized that they move around a lot, and I think with time they would probably tear. So what I did was I just put a little bit of glue on the inside of their wings on both pages, so they are actually attached to the pages, and this makes them super sturdy now. A little die cut here with some light blue cheesecloth underneath. Beautiful gold there. Little cluster here. This is obviously the negative of the butterfly die cut. These were the ones that didn't fit on the cover. I didn't like them on the cover, so I just put them in the journal. This again is just run through the embossing folder without cutting them out. Some beautiful lace. Another die cut with some metallic paint and cheesecloth underneath. Another die cut. This here was from the paper that I had painted with always the leftover paint on a part of the paper bag that I had cut away. So then I just cut these out with my die cut machine, and I think they're really cute. So use your leftover paint. You can always do something with it. Another fun cluster here. This here is something I learned from Louise Heinzel's channel. I will link that video below. It is German with English subtitles. So if you don't know how to find the subtitles, if a video has one, there's a little, if you watch it on the computer, it's a little CC on the bottom right of your video. You can just click that and it will show you the subtitles. If you're watching it on the phone, it's actually on the top right. It's just a tiny CC. So she shows how to do this. It's really cool. And a little cluster here with a tea bag. Lots of gold sparklers here. Here's another butterfly in the middle. Lots of gold here. This is from an old botanical book that I have coffee dyed. This is another butterfly from that paper pad, which I didn't use, and I just folded it around the page. Another little cluster here with some cheesecloth. Here's another butterfly from that leftover paint with a bingo card underneath. And another little cluster with a tea bag here, and that's the back. And this just wraps around the cogwheel. And it has room to grow, so I didn't make it so tight. Definitely has some give here. So I'm hoping you found some more inspiration in this style of journal or handbag. I hope this encourages you to experiment with different types of covers and bindings and everything. Thank you for hanging out with me. Hope to see you back in the next one. Thanks so much. Love you guys.
Mwah. Mwah.